All right, everybody, number 41, if you'd stand and put on a happy face.
And let us rejoice and be glad that we're in it. This sunshine is just absolutely beautiful. I'd like to welcome the online people that are watching and also to our congregation here. Some of you, I think, either decided to take a nice leisurely walk in the sun and you're a little bit late starting, but that's okay. We're going to be just having a good time. So if you just welcome the other people here and give them a hug and tell them God loves them, and so do you. Oh, great. Would you just keep standing for the opening prayer? Heavenly Father, we'd like to thank you for this wonderful day, for the sunshine that makes us feel that spring is arriving after our cold winter. And we are so joyful that we have this happiness in our heart that we can share throughout the week with everyone. And we ask you to move into the homes of those people who are not well and into the hospitals and make sure that this happy day goes into their hearts as well. Amen. Okay, everybody be seated. Well, we have a wonderful speaker today, and this is Reverend Leslie Prentice. Reverend Prentice and I go back quite a way because I used to be very familiar with her mother, and I think there's some people here that remember Reverend Doris Prentice. We were just talking that it always feels like there's three of us together whenever I get together with Leslie. And so we decided that we'd let her mother do the service this morning. She's always here with us anyway. Maybe she'll just channel through the rest of us. But I have so many great memories of Doris and Leslie all throughout the years, as many of you do. And so we're really excited about Leslie being here. She was with Community Spiritualist Church with her mother for many years. And when her mother was very ill, they did close it. And that was a great loss to a lot of people. But we still get Leslie to come now and again and bring us the Spirit. And, of course, Doris joins us here. We'd like to acknowledge all the people that are here in the congregation, as well as Leslie. I see Anna back there. Hi, Anna. And Anna is another person that's been around spiritualism for a long time. And her brother is going to be the speaker next week. And we're so excited about that. We've got all the flyers about that up there, and we'll talk a bit more about it in a little while. I'd also like to thank all our volunteers that keep this church going, our healing facilitators, and our spiritual facilitators that do help us. So thank you guys, and it's so wonderful. And now we're going to get our music minister for the day, Jean Thomas, to join us again. Thank you, Jean, for being with us. And we're going to put the hand in the hand on number 6.
rest and give us a little bit of spiritual inspiration, maybe helpful from the month. Okay, Beth.
Thank you, Barb. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me? That's the first thing. I don't want to hold that thing there. I might try and eat it. I'm going to close my eyes because I tend to get a little distracted by looking at all the wonderful people out here. And I want to pay a little bit more attention to Spirit. I want to listen to what Spirit has to say, what there is for us. And before I left home this morning, they were trying to talk then, and I asked them to come back a little later and talk a little later. And they were talking about going beyond belief. What do you believe? What do you know? That's what they were talking about. I'm going to see if they'll come back if they come really close. Good morning, friends. Our lives are but a journey. During that journey, we learn many things. We reach out and we touch people. We touch their hearts and their minds. We reach out beyond the physical into that which we call spirit realms. We reach out into the universe. We open our hearts to the beliefs of those around us. We learn from them. We grow with them. What are our beliefs? If you grow up in a Christian-centered culture, then it will be of Jesus and of God and of saints and apostles. If you grow up in India, it will be a multitude of gods, each having a different face. If you grow up in Africa, again, a variety of gods. If you grow up in China, or in Japan, or in the South Sea Islands, if you grow up in Alaska, we are First Nations of all of the continents, of any of the continents. The beliefs are all different, and yet there is always a God, always a great spirit, always something beyond, something in which you believe. And your belief will change over time as you grow and learn and understand. Some will cling to the faith, the beliefs that they were given as they grew. And others will learn about knowledge that is out there. The knowledge that there is just one Spirit. There is one universe, one intelligence. And what you see, what you hear, what you experience are small portions of that intelligence. Indeed, you yourself are part of that intelligence. You are at one with the universe and all of its manifestations. You are at one with those sitting beside you, with those chairs that seem so empty. You are at one with the ground, sky. You are one. We are one. And yet we journey through our lives separately. We see much, we learn much, we grow, we increase in our understanding. We may not have gotten to the state of knowingness. We may still be in the belief state, where we take up the things around us and manifest them in our lives. but we may be able to move beyond that state, here on this earth plane, into knowledge, into knowing that you are part and parcel of one dynamic, living wholeness. And that each and every being on this planet, each and everything on this planet, each and everything seen and unseen, are part of that wholeness. And it does not matter if you are looking at someone sitting in a prison, someone on a street corner, someone who hides away in the darkness and shadows, someone who dances in the light. They are all part of that wholeness, all traveling on their roadway, learning and growing, becoming more than they were, not less. Learning to understand, learning to move on, learning to let go of those things which hold them back, coming into knowledge. And that may take many lifetimes spent upon this earth or others, in the many realms of existence. It is a journey that is eternal. Why do we make that journey? Because we can. Because we can become more. Because each and every one of us is an expression of the wholeness. And each and every one of us, as we learn and grow and return into the wholeness, adds to it. It becomes more. And that speaks of being finite, of there being a limit. And yet there is not. In this plane of existence, your earth plane, you cannot hope to understand all that is. And even as you move into other planes, you will not understand all that is. You will not know all that is. But here and now, in this place, you may know that you are one and all. That within you is the spark that is divine, a light that glows, a beacon unto others. Enlightenment is yours should you choose to grasp it. Moving beyond belief into knowledge, knowing that all things are possible, and that each choice we make will teach us something. And knowing that we are never alone. Knowing that life is eternal. Knowing that each and every one of us can reach out forever. And it does not matter where you dwell at this moment. On your earth plane, in the many spirit realms, whether you have merged your consciousness with the wholeness, or whether you are separate, you are indeed at one. Open your hearts and your minds. Do not be frightened at the great vastness that is there. Do not be shy of reaching out and listening and accepting the answers. Do not be shy of forging your own pathway, of taking steps. Some of those will lead you to brilliant success. Others will leave you wondering why you did that. But it is a process of learning. It is a process of growth. It is your eternal pathway onward. And you will make it what you will No one else. For only you, your personal manifestation of the wholeness, can decide what it is you will be doing today, tomorrow, and each moment, time, hereafter. And it has been so from the beginning. And it will be so until the circular motion brings you to the beginning again, for there is no end. Motion does not stop. It continues. And here, at this time, you may choose to make a difference in the lives around you, a difference in your own life, or you may choose to stand still and let things pass you by. That is your choice. That is your honor. That is you choosing as part of the wholeness to manifest in that way. And that is just as it should be. You do not reach out and tell others how to do what they should do in their life. You reach into your own life and decide what you should do, what you would like to do, what you wish to learn, and how you wish to grow, how you wish to help or not help, where and when. You come and go. And while you find yourself on the earth plane constrained by time, by places, by people, remember that you have chosen this, that you have opened up your heart and your mind, and you have allowed those people, those circumstances to touch you, to claim you. And in turn, you have claimed them and accepted those responsibilities for this time. And you can change that if you choose. You can be a happy person. You can be a sad person. You can be someone mired in darkness. You can be the phoenix reborn, flying. You can be the seed that fights its way through the soil and buds and blossoms and grows. You can choose to be the weed. You can choose to be the beautiful flower, the tall tree, the withered branch. These are all choices, all manifestations, all aspects of learning. Today is your day. And tomorrow will be your day. And you will share it as you see fit with those whom you love, and sometimes with those who mean less than nothing to you. Or at least, so you think. But you have chosen where to be and how to be there. Your life is yours. You can render service in your own way, in your own time. You can sit back and enjoy what is around you. There is no must. There is a decision of what you believe and whether you will know. These are your choices. Thank you for listening.
was absolutely wonderful. You know, when I'm teaching, I tell people that we have three parts of ourselves. We have the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. And in the spiritual, it's the gifts that are given to us, the potential. And the mental is where we learn and adapt those gifts. And then genetically, we inherit certain rhythms in ourselves, kind of inner genes. And I'll tell you, 3 generations from Robbie to your mom Doris to yourself has added to everything that you have in potential. It's absolutely fantastic. Thanks for joining us. I would like to remind people that are here, maybe for the first time, that we are a healing ministry. We have a little circle at the back where if you care to have hands-on healing by our healing facilitators, you may go back there during the meditation. Otherwise, we will have a meditation, a healing meditation. Ask everybody to participate, to heal the energy through themselves, to heal their body, to heal people in the room, and then send it out as far as the universe. That God sends that healing through you, multiplied 10 times by 10 times by 10 times by each prayer that is added to the other. So if you join us now in the meditation, just relax.
Find a comfortable position and take your thoughts inward and upward to a little spot in the universe where God resides and healing begins. Allow the energy to move through the tips of your toes, moving upwards, whirling round and round the body, and allow it to come up through the top of the head and flow over the body like a gentle summer rain. As you breathe in again, feel the energy bringing alive all the cells in the body that work together with all of the organs. And allow those organs to be like a wonderful symphony concert orchestra that play their instruments independently, but they play with such harmony and such rhythm that they are working for the whole beauty of the piece they are playing. And as you breathe the energy in and revitalize all of the energies in the body, in the cells, in the organs, know that you are doing that to bring healing to the whole. And as the energy comes in again through the tips of the toes, allow it to expand into the mind. Let the mind open and be receptive. Let the mind be positive and be healthy, so that it may touch the dreams, the ideas that God has to make you all that you can be. Allow those dreams, those thoughts, those energies to come through the mind to healthy growth, so that they will grow and produce the dream that God has for you. Breathing in again, allow yourself to come in touch with the Spirit, that part of yourself that is always perfect. And allow the Spirit to communicate to the mind and the body what it needs for this journey that it is having in this physical existence. And as you have healed your own self, body, mind, and spirit, be like a pebble in a great pond of energy, and allow your energy to move forward and ripple outward, and let it touch each member in the room. And joining together, allowing the energy to draw through everyone to facilitate the healing. Taking a deep breath now, think about outside of this room into the community of your family, the community around you, of your teachers and your leaders, and allow that energy to ripple out and touch all of them so that they too may experience the wonderful healing, the wonderful peace. Allow that energy now to go forward into the world and not only touch the world's leaders, but to touch the animals, the vegetation, the waters, the atmosphere, so that they may be healed. And let us be thankful to the animals and the vegetation and the minerals that give of themselves and serve us so greatly and feed us so well. Allow us now to reach out into the universe, into other parts of the universe that we are not familiar with, or many mansions in God's world that we are not aware of, every room and every mansion. But we send love and we send caring, for God promises us that love and healing is never ending. And all we need to do is ask, and the energy will follow the intention of the thought, and the healing will begin. Now, as we circle back to the seat of the soul, take a few moments just to sit quietly before you come back to your everyday workaday world, to enjoy the tranquility and the peace of the healing area of your garden, the inner garden of healing. And know that you may visit here at any time, and God has promised the love and the healing is never ending. So open your hearts, your mind, and your hand. God bless you, and He sends His angels to keep after you.
thanks to the healing facilitators, both science and spirit, and here that bring God's energy to help people heal from themselves. Well, now we're looking at the announcements, and we're going to, first of all, talk about Paul Elder. And his sister is here, so maybe she can even give you a little bit more information after the service. But Paul has written a book called The Eyes of an Angel. I have it on the table over there, and also some printouts about Paul so that you can look at it. But what he is doing in this book is sharing his journey that has a lot to do with things that have happened to him, including out-of-body experiences, his after-life experiences when he has actually gone into the world where he would have died had he continued to be there and not returned back to his body. And good thing that he did, because we wouldn't have his book for Brianna if he had stayed there. He's written this book, and it basically gives the reader a chance to really discern for themselves a lot of experiences. You'll find a lot of experiences in that book if you've been in spiritualism a long time. You can relate with them. Some of them will be new to you, and you want to discern how they touch your heart, and you'll find a lot of your own truths within this book. And I do find it a good enough book that I have recommended my ministers in training will use this book and read it, and then we are going to actually discuss things in our discussion group with the ministers in training about their feelings. I'm even going to make them write a book report like they used to have to do in school. So this will be a really extremely good book to read. So if you'd like to meet Paul personally at coffee time as well, he's going to speak for us next week, and at coffee time he will be here and have his book here, and you may be able to purchase one at that time. The other exciting thing that we have coming up is our Spring Bazaar. And I'm giving you lots of heads up on this because we have a lot of people in the church themselves that are crafty, and they do nice craft work, or they have some talent or abilities that they art or whatever. We're going to have a number of things like a jumble sale, and so people that want to contribute to that will go for the benefit of the church. We also are going to have a silent auction. We've already had a number of things donated for that, so that will be a fun time. And in addition to that, bring your children and grandchildren, because we have a free entertainment for them with Magic for Children's George Cook, the professional magician, has been around a long time, and he's going to come in and entertain the children. And also Rosemary Phillips, who was here once before, and we were so thrilled to have her do her music and her mediumship, but she's going to come and do the children's version of that she does in the schools. And then we're also going to possibly have Rosemary do something else throughout that following week, but she will speak that Sunday and do her clairvoyance and her music, which she calls Talking and Singing to Heaven, or with heaven, sorry, not to heaven, with heaven. So that will be interesting to have. There will also be demonstrations of some of the mediums will be here, and we'll have little groups that we'll do demonstrations to, and we will have a tea room where you can have scones and all these goodies and be able to have readings done, just little mini readings in the tea room. So that'll be kind of a fun thing to do to help bring money in for to support our church, our chapel. So that'll be great. The other thing is, we have any new people here today? Okay, that haven't been here before. Would one of my facilitators like to grab those little white envelopes and give it to the family back there? And Anna, I don't think you've received one of these because you haven't been at this chapel since we put them out. So I'll give you one as well. It's really nice. So this will be found here. Anybody else that hasn't received one since the beginning of the year when we put them in? I'm not too sure if everybody has received one, but if not, you may pick one up. But some people have been here, but we put these out since they were here last, so that's really good. So thank you. Now the other thing, is there any birthdays or any anniversaries out there? Because we like to sing happy birthday to everybody. Nobody? Oh my goodness, Leslie. We have no birthdays, no anniversaries. Whatever will we do? My goodness, I guess we will just have to then wait upon your offering and go to page 21, and the offering song is there. And Jean will bring her beautiful music to help us sing this song, and I'm going to ask Amber, she can sing nice and loud. Not to go to the song. Number 21, everybody stand.
Not doing. He says, get somebody else to do the garden for you. Okay? But he expects to see you when it gets nice and warm out there sitting and enjoying it. Okay? Just so much love there. And I had to sit there and figure out who Ted was for a few minutes because he's been here the whole time. And he's saying, well, I'm here. I'm Ted. And I couldn't think who he was for a while there. Finally figured out when he said, that lady over there. Okay. Thank you. That's all. Just, he wanted you to say hello, I love you. Okay? Thank you. Maureen, hello. Now, I met you for the first, I know I've seen you here before when I've been out here. I met you officially for the first time this morning. I think we actually introduced ourselves. And Spirit telling me that they want to talk to you and saying to you, you know, you have some doubts every once in a while about this course of action that you have taken in becoming a training minister. And they're saying to you, please do not have any doubts. Your pathway is your choice. Do not worry what other people are saying to you, because there are other voices around you who are saying you're taking on too much. It's not that they don't believe in what you do, but they just feel you're taking time away from them. Okay? And what Spirit is saying is, no, you're taking the time for yourself. And they're just used to having all of your time. Okay? And that's not true either, is what I'm being told, because you've always been out there helping with others. Okay? And thank you. And I don't know whether she's with you, but I have a lady who knit coming in on top. And she would have had very thin fingers, but quite bony. And she would have knit, and she had a particular way of knitting that she always flipped her finger forward.
Yes.
On them, okay? And I know she came in on the tail end of what I was told I had to come to you, but she's not saying who she is, but she's there with you, and she's very strong. She's very proud of what you're doing. Okay? And I'm not being told who she is, but I know that she's family, and I know that she was a very strong inspiration in your life about helping other people. Because that's what she did. She helped in any way she could. And one of the things she would do is she would knit for people. And give away what she knit to help others. Okay? And she says, that is not something that you do. It's not your knitting. She says, no, you have 5 fingers when you knit. They all get in each other's way. And she said, you're very adept at doing so many things, but knitting was something you could never quite get the hang of.
That's right.
So she said you gave it up because, and she gave up on it too, because there were too many holes in the things that you knit. You were always dropping stitches. Okay. She's just saying these things so you will know who she is, because it doesn't matter if I know, it matters that you know and are sure. That's the important thing. And she says, I know you believe, but you also like to have the proof. Okay? And she's telling you, please, that doubts are a normal part of the process. Okay? In everything that we do in our lives. She's saying to you, you know, you have to persevere if it's what you want. If it's not what you want, you decide it's not what you want. She said, that's fine. Everyone will understand. But she said, if it's what you want, hold on to it and go for it. Because she said, the blessings that you bring to those that you help are manifest in the blessings that they bring to others. Okay? You touch, and that touch moves on. Okay? I'll just leave that with you like that, please. Can I come to the gentleman in the striped sweater, please? The gentleman with beard and glasses? That would be you, sir, yes. May I come to you? Okay, thank you. I have a gentleman coming in from Spirit, please. A gentleman who passed when he was in his mid-60s. A gentleman who would have been in the military at one point. A gentleman who was quite strict, quite severe. A gentleman who liked things done his way. I want to put him on a family line with you, but he is not father or grandfather. But he is a family member. Would you understand who this gentleman was? Okay. He is in your family. He is a relative. He is not a direct line with you, however. But he is a member of the family who was in the military. I'm not managing to place where he was. I don't feel that he was in an older generation. I feel he was perhaps in equal or even a younger generation than yourself. And that he would have passed in a war condition. Okay. I'm going to ask you to hold on to that. Think about it. This is not saying this is a brother or a son or a father or an uncle. This is a relative. I'm not getting how close. Just that he is there with you, and so I don't know how far back, where he sits. So maybe I can give you what else he's telling me, please. He's saying you've made a couple of choices recently that have you have made a couple of choices, a couple of changes in your life, or you're about to make them, that have been a long time in coming. But he's saying to you the choices were the correct ones because you had doubts about them. Would that make sense? Sorry?
It always does.
Okay. He's saying to you, there's one more change coming. There's one more change coming. Something that you actually hadn't planned, but something I'm being told that is a happy change. Okay? He's not telling me what it is, just that it will make life somewhat easier for you. Okay? He's saying that life is not always the easiest for you. And he's saying this will make life easier for you. Okay? So I'm going to have to say you're going to have to wait and find out what it is because they're not going to tell me. And he says because it's a surprise. Okay? And he says, thank you. He says you will figure out who he is. He says you're going to have to work at it a little bit. But if you just let it sort of sit and generate for a while, you'll figure out who he is. He's also pleased giving me, thank you, the name of Tom in spirit. He's also giving me the name of Barbara in spirit. And they are connected with him. So wherever Tom and Barbara are, that is where this gentleman is as well, in family. He's also pleased telling me that there is an anniversary. And an anniversary is a birthday, a wedding anniversary, the anniversary of someone's passing. And sometimes it's just something that you hold special. Could be somebody's graduation or just something that's happened in your life that was special and you mark that day. It's something that you remember every year. And he's telling me that there is an anniversary. He's not giving me the exact date, but it's at the end of March. Okay. He's also telling me that there's an anniversary in April and one in July. The July is a wedding anniversary, he's telling me. Okay. Now, I'm sorry if these are not clear enough. That's the best I'm getting from him. I'm just going to have to leave it like that for you. Okay? Thank you. I'd like to come to the gentleman in the beige coat, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I have a gentleman who's saying father from spirit, okay? A gentleman with whom you did not always agree. A gentleman who was quite cantankerous in his own way. A gentleman who had a great deal of impatience in his life. He always wanted to get there faster, and he wanted everybody else to hurry up and get there before him.
That's right.
To make his way a little easier. Okay? He says, I was a cranky old so-and-so. It's not what he's saying. His language was not the most polite at times. And I'm not going to say what he's saying. Okay? And he says, I know it, and I was quite proud of it at the time. And he says, I realize how hard it was on everybody around me now. So I didn't recognize it at that time, but I do now. He says, I want to apologize to you. He says, at one point he took a swing at you. Okay? And he's telling me that you didn't deserve it, you were trying to help. And he understands that now. He says, at the time, I was angry and confused. And he said, and I didn't know you were trying to help me. And he said, so my apologies for that. He said, thank you for the help that you gave me. He says, you did it with love. You did it with forbearance. And you did it in spite of people saying to you, let the cranky old so-and-so get on with it. Okay? And he says, thank you, I love you. Okay. He's also bringing in Mother, who went first, I'm being told.
No.
Thank you. Then let me take his mother went first. Okay, because it's Mother. He's saying Mother. So let me see if it's his mother. This is a lady who was a little stout, just a little plump. He's saying stout, but she's just plump. She wasn't stout. A lady who was not very tall. Maybe my height, a little bit shorter than I am, about 5'3" or something like that. A lady who was very much the dominant one in the family. Okay? And yet she could make it seem like it was somebody else who was actually the dominant one, but she was the one that held the power. Okay? And this is a lady who would have run him ragged when he was a boy. Okay? And he got a lot of his attitude from her. because he says she wasn't he's saying, and she's agreeing with him, that she wasn't the nicest lady. Wonderful to the outside, but to family, no. Okay? And he says, I got it from her, and she's saying, yes, he got it from me, and she got it from her mother, who got it from her father. And so it's come down to family, but it's never been only on one side, it's been from both sides, both male and female down the line. Okay? And he's saying, I'm thankful that you broke the chain. Okay? You worked very hard at it. You said, I'm not going to be like you. And you weren't. Okay? He said, there are occasions when you've almost lost it, when you came close, and he says, but you always pulled back in time. And he said, thank you for being the one that stopped it. Okay? Because he said, otherwise it just perpetuates through eternity. Okay? And he's also saying to you, please, I've learned now where your belief, he said, no, thank you. He's telling me you know about spirit. He's saying, I didn't understand that. I called you a fool. I called you all sorts of names about your belief. And he said, I apologize. I was wrong. He said, I now understand what you were talking about. And he's just talking about your belief, and it's just as simple as a belief in God, because he didn't believe. He believed there was nothing. You went, when you died, that was it, over, and nothing after that. And he says, wow, it's taken me a long time, but I've learned. He said, it took me time to open up my eyes and learn about it. So he says, thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Barb, have you got anything?
Just one gentleman there.
Thank you.
Wait,
Although I do have to tell you, Leslie, I did see the military person with the other gentleman, and he went to him, so I won't cover it again. But I know, I just am verifying it is somebody who was in military uniform. So we both got that, and we hadn't conversed about it. So that's good. That's good confirmation. Mike, I'd like to come to you, and God bless you. I don't know that I have ever brought a spirit of this nature that is actually identified with you. And it's a lady, very beautiful lady, and I see her sitting up in bed towards the end, just like in bed. And then I see her now out, and she's got just almost like a chiffon dress on, and she's dancing, and she's just moving around, and she's having a really good time and very free. And she will stay eternally in her mind, in her projection, the young person that she is in spirit, that young light spirit. So she wants you to know that that is the case now. Also, there is an indication too for you that things are going to be a lot better as we get towards the end of this year. It seems like you are going to realize that you really honor people who have gone ahead when you continue on to make your life the best it can be. And this is what she's saying. Be all that you can be, because you're honoring her by doing all the things that are going to make you happy. Okay? So that's really good. So God bless you from this lady. And so things are going to really take an improvement for you towards the end of this year. And there was one small one, Leslie, for you from your mom and your grandma. We're with you here. And they are really pleased. And I am looking at, from what they're saying to me, that things from July to September are just going to start accelerating for you. And then things are going to really pick up. So that's a nice message from Mama and Grandma.
Yes.
Okay. God bless. And thank you, everybody. We'll give a hand to Les and thank her for being here. And we thank all of the music ministers that come in and donate their time each week. So thank you again, Jean. It's wonderful to have you here. And we just hope that we can continue on with that. We will join in a circle. If Leslie, do you want to say the closing prayer? And you do the closing prayer, and then we'll go in the circle down here and do number 48, Let There Be Love.
Gracious Spirit, we thank you that we have this place to come to each Sunday. That we have loved ones, friends, and family who gather with us here from Spirit Realm. We give thanks that as we go out from this place today, that we are reminded of the love that is out there and the opportunities that are there for each of us and the challenges that come to us that help us learn and grow. Enlighten us, open our hearts and minds, walk with us in the many ways that you can. We leave ourselves in your care. Amen.
And we'll have a circle, and everybody joins for coffee and conversation. And don't forget to check out the book on there. And you strong gentlemen. Cheers, please.